Welcome, bienvenido. Today's vlog 66 of Metamorphosis Rocks. My name is Roxana. We're going to talk about caregiver and guilt. I was reading an article and I am going to link it below. The name of the article is The Unspoken, hold on, The Unspoken Burden of Caring for Elderly Parents. And it was written by Jill Gleeson. Now, she's talking about something that is very normal. In her case, her mother started showing signs of dementia after several months, at least the way I understood it, of having several diseases. She goes into this entire description from the moment that, when you're young and you don't think your parents are ever going to die, even though you're already in your 20s and your 30s, no, my parents are not going to get old and they're never going to die type mentality. And I could relate to that because I honestly, my dad kept saying he was going to die, and he never did. So, of course, when he did, it was, even though we knew it was coming, it was still a shock to me because he always got back up. So, but anyway, she's talking about how she was feeling resentful. Her brother had committed suicide and she was alone taking care of her ailing parents who have both had different health issues. And she was beginning to feel resentful. And as it often happens, when you go out into the world, most of us, when we go into nature, we go for exercise or something like that, we kind of sort of see clearer and we get ideas and whatnot. And she started thinking about the reality of her situation, and that at the bottom of all the resentment that she felt, and she goes into very good detail about it, it was fear. And the main focus of her fear was that she was not going to be good enough as a caregiver to take care of her parents. And I can definitely relate to that. When 10 months ago, I had to make the decision that I was going to have to put my mom in a home because I really could not take care of her without pretty much hurting myself or my family. My own health was failing. I felt ridiculously guilty and ridiculously resentful to the entire world and to her and to myself. And the main focus of it was, I'm not doing a good job by my mom because I'm letting somebody else take care of her. The reality is that the last 10 months she's been very stable. The 10 months that she lived with me after my dad passed away were very tumultuous. She ended up in the hospital 3 times. That has not happened because we have a facility that takes care of her 24/7. They have alarms everywhere. We had an alarm in the bed, but she has alarms in her wheelchair, in her bed, and everywhere. So it's harder for her to have an accident without anybody finding out about it. And because there's different staff at different hours, they get to sleep some, and I did not get any sleep in those 10 months. However, she's talking about the fact that she doesn't think that she is good and she's doing a good enough job by her parents. She decided to stay home with them and take care of them at home. And here's the thing. It really doesn't matter what decision you make, whether you take care of them yourself or you send them to a facility and you visit them every week, or whatever decision you make, it's perfectly fine. Just remember, not everybody is built to do this on their own. There's people that have been doing it for years, and God bless them. I'm not built for that. And more importantly, it's really funny that we should feel that way about fear. And in her case, she's single. I don't think she has ever had children, so maybe that has something to do with it. In my case, I have a daughter. And I know that every day that goes by, I wonder if I'm doing a good enough job as a mother. So, my message to her is very simple. The same way you feel like you're not doing enough for your parents, they probably felt that way when they were raising you. So, just enjoy the time that you have left with them. She's also mentioning, how when her mother's feeling better, they actually get to go to the movies and whatnot. Enjoy those moments because they're very few and far between. And if she does have dementia, because she's seeing the signs, I don't think she has been diagnosed. But if it is dementia, it's you're not gonna have that many moments, so you might as well enjoy them as much as you can. And as far as feeling guilty or feeling, some people feel guilty because they feel resentful. You're gonna have every possible feeling there is. when you're dealing with parents with dementia, or you're taking care of your ailing parents in general. So what I would tell you is, don't be so hard on yourself that you think that you have to be perfectly happy every time, that you're not going to snap every once at your parents. Just think about when you were a kid. Were your parents always happy-go-lucky and didn't snap at you once in your life? I don't care how good your parents were. At least once in their life, they snapped at you for something that had nothing to do with you. And I know because I lived it and because I've done it. So just think about this way. We are all here doing the best that we can. That's all we can do. And hopefully, we do enough of a good job that we can live with ourselves and the consequences of our actions. God bless her and her family. I mean, she's a travel writer, and it's really interesting the way she explains the entire situation and her walk. And she was she was in the park walking, and the way she describes the park and everything, I know why she's a travel writer, because she's very descriptive and she did a very good job. But other than that, she also did a very good job of explaining how we feel when we have good parents. And I realize that not everybody has good parents and they still take care of their parents as they're getting older. When you have good parents, you try to be the best um, son or daughter you could be. And sometimes our expectations of what is being a good son or daughter to our parents are ridiculous. They just are. So just do the best you can. Know that you have support. There's plenty of places where you can find support. There's support groups in your area. You can go to the Alzheimer's Association and look for support groups in your area. You can look online. Facebook has a few very good support groups. And I apologize because my computer just went nuts and it's making a lot of noise, so I'm going to end it here. But do the best you can and be thankful for the time you have with them. Thank you for watching and have a fabulous day.